Hi guys, welcome to our channel, Exploring It All. I'm Miraculous Girl. Join me and my dad while we explore subscription boxes, the outdoors, gear and equipment, and other fun things and places. Before we get started, hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Ding! Thank you for watching.
Well, thank you for that amazing introduction, Miraculous Girl, and thank you everyone for joining us again here on Exploring It All. So today we have the Apocabox Skills Project Only Challenge. Now, I've opened this because the package was bigger than I was expecting. It's cool because I can look at a couple items that I didn't get because I didn't get a Apocabox for February of 2025. This is the February of 2025. But they do send the booklet, so I know what came, and I'm in a group that kind of reveals the other items as well, so I know the plus item. And so this kind of goes into the reason why I pulled my level down to the survival skills only project. I've been doing a Apocabox for quite some time. So anyway, we're going to get started here, and I'm going to pull out the pamphlet first. And this is the pamphlet. And this is our survival skills project right here on the front. You can't tell what that is yet. But real quick, I'm going to go over the items that were in Apocabox. One was a watch band compass. And that's a compass that attaches to your watch band. Now, he included the watch band, but I have a ton of these types of things, different ones and everything. And you can attach them to bands. I could attach it to this band or whatever. So I think that it's nice to have that. A lot of times we have those in our phones and whatnot. But obviously it's not an item that I really needed. We got a honing steel, just like this, for sharpening our knives, a honing steel. That's really cool. I like it. But I already got one. I have one in my kitchen. And I also have a lot of different sharpening steels and systems and everything else. So it's a cool item. But again, next up, we got a high visibility box. Now, I have many of these boxes in different shapes and sizes, and I have some much bigger. This one's orange, which is the same as the one he sent out. And most of these come with a little O-ring in here, so it's waterproof. This one I keep memory cards and such in. But again, I have a lot of different types of boxes that seal. It's a good item to have, but I'm covered. Next up was the wild edible plant coloring book. Well, he included that with the survival skills project, which I think is fantastic that he included that. The book is cool. It gives you certain, wild edible plants, and you need to color them. Now, I have books with all these plants in them and stuff, but this is just another way to practice learning what your plants look like and even coloring them, if you so desire. I'm not big on the coloring thing, but I don't know, Miraculous Girl might do it. But I think this is really cool, and he made that, and so that's cool. So I'm happy that that was included, and I almost expected it to be included with the Survival Skills Challenge. Now, next up was the LED watch cap. Well, hey, guess what? He included that as well. My first thought was, and this is a rechargeable battery, this is a nice soft one. He has his logos on there and his mantra of not if but when. And brightness, bright light, adjustable, has 3 modes on it: bright, medium, low, and off. And this is rechargeable. You just pull this out, plugs into a USB, and I think the whole thing just comes out of the hat. It does. It's got a little rubber seal in there. So in the dead of winter, this would have been nice to get in October just before it got cold, as opposed to the spring when it's starting to, be in the 70s and 80s where I live. But this is cool. Now, next up, we have the mini bushcraft neck knife. Now, I saw pictures of this, and it looks like a nice little, it looks like a pretty nice little knife. I think it's awesome. It's a wood-handled knife. This is my Condor. It's a wood-handled knife, but it's a wood-handled knife, and it reminds me a little bit of this, only it's a straight draw point. It's not stacked leather, but it had what looked like a kind of nickel aluminum style bolster. This is an old Western knife I got when I was in the Boy Scouts. Also kind of reminds me a little bit of this buck with the flat pommel on it. I want to say it was a little curved and the knife handle was curved, but it looked like a nice knife. But I got lots of knives, so again, it's not something I miss. Next item he sent was an aluminum waterproof capsule for matches and such. The one I saw the picture of was orange. This one that I happen to have is green. I don't know where I got this one from, but I have one. I have lots of waterproof match cases and stuff, but you could use it for any of that kind of stuff. You can click on it there. So again, there we go. And then the final item was the ember rack. Now, it's a cool item. I have a couple of fold-out stoves and stuff, but basically what the ember rack was, it was a little bigger than this. It was a rack, this aluminum style rack, that's square, that had some fold-out legs on it. I have a grill like that. It doesn't have the screen rack on it, but I have a lot of these screen racks that don't have legs. So, I mean, I could modify to make something similar to that. So again, not mad at the item, but I'm just kind of explaining why I dropped down to that survival skills challenge where I find it fun. Now, one last thing I can throw out there that's not listed here, but I know what it is the plus item. The plus item was a cool item, and I was happy to see it. I think it's a good item because he already sent a knife, so I'm glad he didn't send a knife. What he sent was the Rapid Rope utility rope, and he sent this container of it. Now, you can get these for between $23 to $25 on Amazon, and for $14, you can get refills for them in other colors. So, again, I think it's a good item. I got this in another subscription many years ago. It has a cutter on it, and this has 1,100 pound tensile strength. This is 120 feet of it. You do need to kind of fire the end of it here after you cut it to keep it from unraveling. But this is a cool item. They even got a couple knot designs on the back here, telling you different ways to tie knots if you don't always remember, because I don't. So that's cool. I think it's a good item, and it's not a knife, and I like that. Now, if you want to talk about value, well, that plus level costs you $25 a month more, and you got an item that's worth $25. So you're getting your value, but you're not getting more value. And I've always said that about Apocabox. You get your value, but you're not going to get a lot more value. You're not going to get $200 worth of gear for your $50. So that's a look at Apocabox, kind of, without getting Apocabox. Now, let's do part 2. Our survival skills challenge is building a sling. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it right here, live. Well, not live, but in real time. So here it is. Now, there's a video that he included, and I'm just going to show you how to do it so you don't have to watch that video. So let's see if we can't put this little survival skills project together. So the first thing you're going to want to do, and I've already done this, is you're going to want to stretch your paracord out and match the ends up and give it a slice right in the middle so you have 2 equal lengths of paracord. That's really easy. And then just melt it, the end with a lighter. You just kind of melt it down here like this. Just to get a little melty, you're going to get a little ball of melted plasticky material, nylon, I guess is what it is, just to keep it from unraveling. Now, after you've done that, you're going to tie a little knotted end right in here, and you're going to tie that in there, and you'll see why. You're going to take your seatbelt strapping material, and you're going to fold it in half like this, and then you're going to fold it in half one more time. So you got a little W there. Now you guys can see I've done this because I wanted to make sure I knew how to do it before I did it on the thing. And then you're going to take that knotted end and you're just going to lay it kind of right in there. And you're going to take, and I have the same glue that was used in the video, and then you're going to squirt some glue right into the middle of this just to kind of help keep it all together. Not all the way out the end so it's not leaking out and stuff. And then you're going to just lay your paracord strand, the inner strand, right across here with a piece sticking out. And just wrap this around 3 or 4 times, kind of tight. Make sure you got enough. And then bring this over to kind of form a little loop there. And wrap it some more. And then stick your end through that little loop that you just made. And pull this through tight. You're just going to pull that tight. On there, like that. And since I got glue anyway, and just kind of put it over the top of the strings here, just to give it a little bit more reinforcement. And then you're just going to kind of, not too hard, but gently pull this down into the end there. I'm going to wipe that down a little bit because I got glue overflowing. Just to get your knot in there. And it's all in there. And then the other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this Swiss Army knife and kind of cut the ends of this a little bit. Now, in the instructional video, it was a lot longer because he was using his lighter because he had to singe the edges on his strapping material, but that was already done for mine, so I didn't have to do all that, and I already pre-cut this and let it cool. Now the last step toward making your sling here, and you guys can see I got my ends, this is perfectly even, but your last step toward making your sling here is just tying a loop on the end down here, just something to slip on your finger. I'm sure there's multiple knots that you can use. I'm not a knot guy, but just something so that when you do your sling and you let go of the other one just stays gripped to you. So that's, I've never used a sling like this, so this is something they say to go out and practice with tennis balls and stuff. I think it's a cool little survival skills project. You know, if you need to, you can cut out some more paracord. If you don't have some on hand, you should. I have a ton, and I have a lot of other kind of strapping if you think you need to do a little bit tighter reinforcement here, but these seem to be in there pretty good. You don't want to pull too hard on them. That was one thing they did say. You got your little pouch. They say to practice with tennis balls. Like I said, You could even use those little super balls or something. But this was a pretty easy project. In all, even though I did some pre-prep before I started this video and I had already done one side, I would say it'll only take you about 10 or 15 minutes to make this, and then you just need to let it dry. So guys, that's a look at the Apocabox for February of 2025 survival skills project. And I kind of did that, like I said, that overview of Apocabox in general. I would be really curious, and I need to get some more seatbelt strapping material because I wouldn't mind trying. I'd be curious to see if you could actually do the survival skills project with the Plus item that he sent out this month, because this material is very similar and you can tie it and everything else. So I'd be really curious to see if you can make this sling with that material. And this does have a little bit of softness, stretchy. Then I got some like 1-inch strapping, but it's not this soft. But I think it's a cool project. I'm really glad. I'm looking forward to seeing what April's survival skills project is going to be. I like these little projects. I think they're fun, and I like supporting Creek. And I will be posting the, March 2025 Patch of the Month clip here pretty soon. I just filmed that as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, hit like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and be nice to each other.